the goddamn bonus episode, baby. Let's go.
Yeah, it'll be fine.
That's fine. All right.
Wahoo!
Wahoo, yippee! Yay! Welcome everybody to the first bonus episode of the fucking Liars4Hire.
Hey, welcome.
Welcome. You can only find this on Patreon, the Liars Club Patreon, and it includes me and one dippy doodah day, the nifty fucking table vivo. Yeah, baby, yeah.
That's what they call me. No one's ever called me anything else.
The grippy, shitty, delicious. You hate that, don't you?
I'm just surprised it's still going. I'm just surprised people are still saying it.
I am sorry. I'm one of the people that perpetuated that bit.
It's fine. It's funny.
The origin is just Chase changing your name in our group chat, and then me only calling you that when you change your name back to the nifty table. I'm like, it's Dippy, and everyone was just like, Dippy, yeah, and it evolved from there.
Yeah, it literally Chase was the catalyst for it, and then they
Chase
fucking went and made like the bot that spread it to the masses,
and everybody tagged onto it.
Yeah.
But no, this is the first Patreon bonus episode. It's a new thing that I proposed, and Chase and Robbie are like, okay, you can do it, I guess. I don't understand it, but it's a thing that Nifty and I are going to do. They don't understand us. We're different.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, we wanted the first episode to be us complaining about shit because it's behind a paywall and people won't be able to find this.
Yeah.
So this is like the third day in which I'm like, Nifty, we should do this, and I'm always the one to be like, I'm tired, I don't feel good, my head hurts,
I was
I'm
one of
depressed.
them. One of them was like, hey, my brain is fucking short. My brain is fucking shorting out. Can we do this tomorrow? Like, I was one of those.
My brain is made of pudding. Can we fucking...
Yeah.
Can we move this to another day? But no, I'm mad. I am mad about one thing, and I warned Nifty about this. I'm allowed to talk about this because it's behind the paywall, and that's going to be my excuse every time I'm going to talk about something on the bonus episode.
Awesome.
I tried Nair for the first time, and it doesn't fucking work. I was like, it's getting hot in Washington. I'm sick of shaving every other week because my hair grows in so fast. I'll just fucking use Nair for the first time. I'll get over my fear of like chemical burns and shit like that. Put it under my arms, put it on like on my thighs where a lot of hair grows, does whatever. I follow the instructions to a T.
Yeah.
Take a shower, and it doesn't fucking work. None of the hair came off. All it did was curl the hair. So now all my hair's bunched up.
Oh God.
And I look like fucking Bigfoot. And it fucking sucked. I called my mom and I'm like, hey, why isn't this working? And she goes, well, your hair might just be too thick, so the chemicals doesn't sink in all the way to like burn it and kill it.
Oh my God. So
yeah, you might just have to like deal with shaving it. And I'm like, that's fucking stupid. I hate this. I hate the way I was born.
Oh man. That sucks.
I'm sitting here now with my arms like above my head, like putting my arms up, and hair is like poking through and it's curly and shit under my arms, and I'm just like, this sucks, bro. It's fucking hot as shit, and I hate this. I've had this issue. When Lex was here, I got so self-conscious because I was walking around the apartment without shoes or socks on, and Lex goes, you got hobbit feet. And I don't know why that comment hit me so hard.
What the fuck?
So like I shave my toes and stuff. And now, but like all my hair grew back already, so I'm like, I do have hobbit feet.
No. That sounds like a very Lex thing to say. Like I could so vividly picture in my head just like Lex like pointing at your foot and going like, you got hobbit feet, dude, check it out.
Bro, you got hobbit feet. Like, man, come on. I've had fucking obnoxious long body hair ever since I hit puberty when I was fucking 11.
Damn.
You've heard the story of how people thought I was a narc in middle school, right?
What? No. Oh,
so
like people thought you were like way older, and you were like
because
an
I had
undercover
a beard.
cop.
Yeah, because I had a beard in 8th grade.
That's awesome. That's
and everyone's like, that's just a really small adult, because like I sounded like this too. As soon as I hit puberty, my fucking voice dropped a million octaves. I grew a beard and shit. So everyone was like, you're a cop. You're not a kid. You're like a 30-year-old dude. I'm like, no, please.
I'm not a cop, I swear.
No, I had to deal with a lot of bullying. Did you have to fucking, when you were growing up, did you have people bully the shit out of you for things you couldn't control?
I had a bunch of people bully me because I was undiagnosedly mentally ill and talked a lot about whatever I was hyperfixating on. So
That's
people
what
were
makes
like,
you charming.
Why do you talk about Mario constantly? Why do you talk about Sonic constantly? You're annoying. And I was like, man, like I'm just hanging out.
But I like Sonic the Hedgehog.
Yeah.
He's my friend. He's real.
He's
real to me.
God. What if that, like, I tell this story as if all these kids in high school, or not high school, fucking, like, elementary school, were, like, mean as fuck to me, but I deliberately live out the part where I had, like, a tulpa that I didn't tell anyone about? Could you imagine?
Yo, this is my tulpa Sonic.
It's just Sonic the Hedgehog.
Just Sonic the Hedgehog. Dude, we had a kid who was hyper fixated with Sonic in my high school, and he was cool.
I remember hearing about it. Didn't he like vaguely cosplay as him or something like that?
He wore blue pants and shirts and red shoes all the time. He dyed his hair blue as well. He would sometimes, if it was cold enough, he would sometimes wear the gloves. But like, he was also on the track team, and he was super fucking fast.
Straight up, I would have thought that kid was cool as fuck. Like
that, he like I'll get a message from him in these past couple months, like a straight message, like, hey, how you doing? What's up? And like we catch up, and it's like, nah, this dude was just like, I think your similar situation of undiagnosed and people made fun of him for no reason, but like was actually like a super cool kid that I'm really glad I was friends with in high school.
Fuck yeah.
As opposed to the fucking, back to the bullying topic, kids would bully me for being short, being really hairy. Beginning of high school, it was my weight. People would make fun of me a lot. Mm-hmm. And then I got ripped, and then it would just be like, well, you're just short. You're just small.
You're small.
That's why you're working out, because you can't grow because you're short.
Gotcha.
And I'm like, sorry, I'm not 6'6", and my parents aren't divorced. My bad.
Yeah.
Sorry, I don't get 2 fucking Christmases, and I don't take steroids because I'm on the football team.
God.
So we haven't talked it a bit because you were doing a funny little production, weren't you?
Yeah. So, just for preface, I'm sure it's obvious just from like knowing anything about me. But unfortunately, I'm gonna formally announce it here. I am a theater kid.
Shut up! Shut the fuck up!
Fuck you!
Fuck you!
So I guess I'm just gonna tell the stories, the big story
the
of it.
Stories.
Well, I'll give context,
Okay.
and then get to the horror stories. Circa 2019, my 2 siblings were in a high school production of Disney's Beauty and the Beast.
Oh goodness.
Yeah, and for the record, they did a damn good job. Me and my siblings are very similar in the fact that we are all tall as fuck and like very like skilled musically, and it's like kind of cool. But so I came along for like they did the fucking like theater kid thing of like after the last show everyone goes to like a fucking restaurant and just like annoys the fuck out of everybody there. So we were at like a Big Boy. was the restaurant of choice in the area, and I went along with like my mom because it's like it's family. We're
right.
Like it's fine if we show up. But I heard that like a community theater fucking company, I guess, was doing their own production of the same show, Beauty and the Beast, like another like town or two over, One of like my like a vague associate of mine who was there was like, yo, Nolan, you should go do that. And I'm like, are you sure? That's like weird as fuck to do it like immediately after my siblings do it. And everyone was like, nah, that's fine. It's whatever. So I was like, okay. So I auditioned. And I got in.
You got in. Who were you casted as?
Well, so that's one thing. I went and I auditioned for Gaston, the villain.
Okay.
On one hand, I'll get to it. I'll get to the reasoning why later. But part of why I think I wasn't cast was because I was very skinny at the time. Mm-hmm. I wasn't like ripped like the character. But I was like, I think playing a villain would be very fun. I haven't gotten to do that in a show yet. And, I have the voice for this character. So I went in, and they were like, hey, we really like your voice. Could you audition for this other character as well? And I was like, sure, why not? So they had me audition for Lumiere, the funny, like candelabra man. Mm-hmm. So I did that, and then I got called back later like, hey, do you want to be Lumiere? And I was like, sure, dude, because, I didn't really have any objections to it, and I was also just like, I just want to do something on stage. It's been a minute. So that we do that, right? We go through, the production started, like rehearsal started in January of 2020. You could see where this is. You could see where this is going.
Oh no! Oh, this is the production. Okay, yeah.
So March hits. We're like 4 weeks out from showtime, and the pandemic happens. So we postpone for about 2 years. Up until around February or March of this year, 2022. Right. And they said, hey, like that the whole time they were like, we're going to do it this date. Nope, sorry, we got to move it. Like a lot of that.
Yeah, okay.
So, they had us all show up to talk about like, hey, here are our plans going forward. A bunch of people couldn't make it because it had been 2 years and people's schedules change. And, other people were brought in. And then, I was like, okay, this is going to be like, yeah, here's our plan going forward. We'll start like however long. And then they were like, okay, we start next month. And I'm like, oh shit, okay. Like no,
that's
it was
fine.
like next week even. I think it was like extremely short notice. I was like, oh fuck, okay. So we start. So okay, so 2 years in the making. We probably gotta refresh on lines and songs and choreography. But for the most part, it should be pretty quick to get back on track to where we were. That's, generally I assume that was the assumption. Yeah. Here's where shit starts getting weird. Mm-hmm. And I'm going to get really angry talking about this shit. So, this is why this is the complaints episode. This is like vaguely personal, but I'll talk about it here just because it's important. I have like some digestive troubles that I did not know about for the longest fucking time. It was causing me a lot of pain, and I, it was very, very negatively affecting my health. One such reason for that was because I basically did not absorb any like nutrients from anything I ate. And as such, I was very skinny. So you got that. And then over the course of the pandemic, or at least like the big like 2-year wait of the pandemic, because
the first initial 2 years, because it's still happening.
Because it is still happening. I might be talking about it as if it's like past tense, but when I say like the pandemic, I mean like the period in which I was not doing this show, basically, just for context. During that time, I went and got diagnosed, which was a whole other can of worms, because like, which I won't get too much into, but like one of my doctors thought I had cancer. And like then we like went to a cancer specialist, and he was like, "Hey, I don't know what the fuck this guy was talking about. I think you just have some digestive trouble." And we were like, "Oh fuck, okay." Like, why did he say that?
Christ. Yeah, like what was the point of that?
The thing about doctors is that they suck sometimes. Like, I don't know what the deal is. But so eventually I got diagnosed and medicated for my digestive trouble. As such, I started getting stuff from food again. I guess like I know there are people that are sensitive to this, to topics of like weight stuff. So I guess I keep forgetting to preface it whenever I tell this story, like on a stream or anything. But just going forward, like that will be a topic that I bring up. So
Warning.
Yeah, woo! So I gain a bunch of weight back because of just like I don't know, me being me. Granted, I'm a lot healthier now, I'm doing way better, like, pain-wise than I was back then, which is, like, really good.
Yeah. So, like, I will also preface this because I'm, like, technically I'm, like, some kind of scientist. Physical appearance does not always equate to, like, physical health.
Yeah.
So for Nifty's case, you're describing like I may have gained more weight, but I am way healthier than I was when I was I was slim and supple.
I was fucking decrepit and dying at that point. Like, I was not doing good. So 2 years pass. We're doing this show again. Like a couple weeks into it, it gets time. Hey, it's been 2 years. Some people are new. We got to see if all these costumes still fit and see what we got to do from there.
Yeah, this fucking story, yeah.
So, my costume was a bunch of shit that didn't match that was purchased off of Amazon. It was like, like a jacket, a vest, some pants, and then like the funny like candle hands they were making me. The two pairs of candle hands, which will be important later. I just want to preface the fact that they decided on two of them.
Okay.
So, do you want, like, I could explain why? Like,
yeah, please do, because I'm like, why?
So, this is also another thing that will become important later. Over the course of the 2-year hiatus, I did a lot of, in an effort to like keep up on my lines and stuff. Every so often, I would like watch like recordings of the show, and that led me down the rabbit hole of like behind the scenes stuff about like the Broadway adaptation of Disney's Beauty and the Beast, and something they did to account for the fact that a lot of the characters like Lumiere and Cogsworth and Mrs. Potts that are in the movie, like actual like household objects, they are small. To account for the fact that they are now people-sized, they wrote in some extra lore that the fucking story where like, okay, there's like a curse, that's why the beast is a beast and the objects are objects. It instead of just being like bam, you're all fucking spoons and shit now. In the stage adaptation, it is gradual. So as time passes, these humans are becoming more and more inanimate, which is like kind of fucked up and kind of cool. But you know, a lot of productions will exemplify that by adding bits and pieces to costumes of these characters, like between Act 1 and Act 2. Like, you know, what one that is like specifically written in is that Cogsworth, the like clock man, gets like a little, you know, like the little like wind up key in some like little like handheld mantle clock things.
Yeah.
Like one of those just appears in his back at one point, and they make a whole scene out of like, why is this happening to me? Like,
Okay.
So their way. So my director, I will refer to him henceforth by the name Jason. Just so
much nicer than when I referred to him when you first told me this stuff.
Just so I don't have to keep calling him the director.
Or dickhead, in which I called him.
I probably will still call him the director at some points. But I will be calling him Jason. So our director Jason was like, hey, our way of exemplifying that for your costume will be that your candlestick hands between Act 1 and Act 2 will melt a little bit. So in Act 1, they'll start out taller and stuff, and then Act 2, they'll be like shorter and drippier. This was when like they were, you know, they had another guy who was like he worked at fucking Ford or something and was good with electronics, so he was like making shit that would light up and stuff.
Okay.
So that's why I had two pairs of hands, basically. So my costume was these two pairs of hands, and then, you know, the shit they bought me off Amazon that like none of it really matched. So when it came time for me to try and, you know, fit into these costumes to see what to do, it turns out that I'm no longer a medium. So nothing fit. Now here's where shit starts getting wacky. Because I go up to Jason. I go up to this grown adult man. Picture in your head like a cartoon like soccer coach, where he's like kind of short and he's got like the hat on all the time, and he's got that sort of like, "Hey, sport, how you doing?" like attitude to him. He's got like a picture a man like that, right?
Okay.
This grown adult man. After I explained to him, hey, it's been 2 years and I'm not a medium anymore. You know, hey, what? Just kindly asking, like, okay, do we have a plan going forward? What's something I should take into account? And he goes, okay, so what you're gonna want to do, and starts giving me a whole list of things to do in order to lose weight. So this grown adult man, his plan was he basically just went to me and went, "Oh, just lose the weight, lol."
Which, are you like big, or are you just big?
I
No,
was
no. That's not me. That's not me asking. That's me being the director and being like, are you like big, or are you like big? Because here's what you're gonna want to do.
Yeah, no, he was like, so, you know, if you just like cut out like sugars, if you start paying attention, you do push, like he like gave me like legitimate, like, yeah, so here's some stuff you should start doing. And I'm like, are you like, is this like, is this a joke? Is this actually what you want? No, it'll work fine. All right, now go home. And I was like, fucking okay. Keep in mind, all right, I keep dropping stuff that I say is very important information for later, but I swear to God it will be.
Okay. I believe you. Okay.
this is one, a community theater show. This is not like a professional production. Two, I like just finished this show. It was only one weekend. We performed for 3 days. So this man was telling me to lose a bunch of weight for a 3-day show. Which, you know, even aside from all that, why would you say that to anybody? That's like deranged. So I go home and I'm like, hey, that's fucking weird that just happened to me. And then the next day, I get a message from him and he's like, hey, I'm sorry. That was like really weird and out of line. And you know, which, you know, hey, good on him for recognizing that and apologizing, I guess. Still weird that you said it at all. Excuse me. But, you know, you've got that. And so he apologizes and he says, all right, you know, so we'll communicate. We'll keep in contact and communicate, and we'll figure out, a new thing for your costume. And I was like, great. Awesome. So then like 3 weeks go by, with complete radio silence from this man. In regards to my costume, I'm still like rehearsing and stuff. And I arrive for a rehearsal and he pulls me aside and goes, okay, so what do you have? And I'm like, what do you mean? You know, we got to figure out your costume. What do you have? Well, Jason, I don't have anything. You said we would keep in contact. Okay, well, we got to figure out something like now, because this man, two things you should know about this director. One, he actually like really liked me, to the point where like he like almost like wouldn't give me any actual directions because he just assumed I would do good the first time, which is like flattering, but also like, no, fuck you, do your job. I want to know what you want me to do. I
need direction. I can't just make assumptions and ruin everybody's flow on stage.
Yeah. So this man, one, really liked me, but two, apparently not enough to like give a shit about a lot of this stuff. So, you know, he just assumed that I would have something by this point. So then he's on top of that, really worried about like my costume, but not enough to do anything about it, because he was like, oh, we gotta like, because like 2 years went by without rehearsing or anything, and you know, you just kind of completely dropped it and didn't think to like, okay, you know, we'll like put some stuff together so it'll be ready when we're back. Which, you know, I kind of get. It was a very turbulent 2 years. I don't want to be like, you should have had everything built by then or something like that. Mm-hmm. But like, you know, we you know, time is ticking. We got to get stuff ready. So, you know, he's got all this other shit going on. So we sit down for a very long time and like try to figure out, okay, what's the fucking deal with this costume? And we talked to a lady who was like kind of running the costume stuff, and she was like, I can like make a pair of pants and like maybe a vest that we can work with. And they were like, cool. So and I said, hey, by the way, keep in contact with me, communicate with me, and tell me what you would like me to do, because I'm willing to, you know, put forward a little bit and do stuff myself. And they were like, okay. And then more time passes.
Oh God, dude.
Where they don't say a fucking word to me about any of this. And, or this woman who like offered to make stuff. Apparently, I would go up and be like, hey, you know, have you gotten an update from her about the stuff? And they were like, oh, we haven't told her to make anything.
You're fucking me. You're fucking me right now.
And I was like, okay, well, you know, when you can, just like let her know, because I have, you know, I want to make sure like the stuff I can make can like match. By the way, let me know if you want me to do anything myself. Okay, all right, see ya. And then more time would pass, and that was the cycle for about like another month or two, up until like I would say a month or two ago from this point, from the time we're recording this, where I'm like, okay, I don't think they're gonna do anything. So I'm just gonna, so, you know, I think we should start, getting stuff. You know, I talked to my mom, who, just for context, my mom is, very similar to me in terms of like creative, like brain waves, if that makes sense. Like I get a lot of my like artistic and, you know, artsy kind of talents and skills from her. So and she's like helped me with a bunch of my shows before. So she was like, yeah, I'd love to like have something to do. So we're like, all right, we'll start you know, putting some stuff together ourselves. And then, you know, we start like, you know, okay, we're going to gather some like paint and some like materials and stuff. And, you know, figure some stuff out ourselves. And then it gets to the point where I believe we were about like 1 month out from performing, like going on stage and performing. And, you know, I have essentially like a base of a costume, where, you know, I have, granted, the people, the like production team of the show itself did pitch in a little, like, the assistant director, who was the, like, Jason, like the director's like wife, was like pretty helpful. And like, you know, she got me like a suit jacket I could use, and like, you know, she was able to get the costume lady to make like a vest, even though the vest didn't turn out right. But you know, it was something. And so I had a base, and it got to a point where we were very close to performing, and the director goes, okay, just out of nowhere one day, okay, we need, next rehearsal is going to be like a mock dress rehearsal. So everyone show up in full costume,
bro,
and we'll run the show. So I go up to him and I say, hey, Jason, I just want to let you know, I'm going to bring all the stuff I have, but I'm not like 100% finished yet. You know, I still, you know, I have all the materials I need, but, you know, we got to like put some finishing touches and like paint some stuff. And he, like, kind of like freaks out a little bit. He's like, why don't you have it done? Why don't you have it done yet?
Because it's not my job.
Like, that's one thing. One thing about me, for context, I am deathly afraid of being difficult to work with in shows like this. So I try very hard to just be very nice to everyone involved. Slowly but surely, this became less the case, because of all the insane shit that I dealt with. So basically, I'm gonna like finish up the costume story very quickly. Basically, I had like, I would say like 3 weeks from that point until showtime for, you know, me and my poor fucking mom. I feel so bad that I had to drag her through all this to basically put together my entire costume from scratch. Because these people running the show gave no thought to it themselves. After, might I add, just suggesting that I like potentially put my health in danger and lose an unhealthy amount of weight and just fit back into the shit they bought me 2 years ago. from that point, like, we, like, got it done, and, like, Jackson, you've, like, seen an image of how the costume came out. It's, like, pretty good.
The costume fucking bangs, dude.
Oh, that's the thing, too. All together with everything we did, whether we used it or not, the amount of money I spent on that costume was, like, fucking, like around, like, $300.
I didn't know you spent that much fucking money.
Like, that was, like, almost, like, an entire, like, tax return.
Christ alive, dude.
Yeah, it sucks.
What the
I'm like
fuck?
still broke. It's like bad. So all that shit happens with my costume, and like it turns out fine. We did a bunch of like fancy shit ourselves where we like made it so I could like fuck around with props despite not having working hands for most of the show. Like, it was awesome. Like for all intents and purposes, we did a good fucking job in the minuscule amount of time we had. So that's just one layer of all the shit that I dealt with.
Oh my god!
Show.
Is there more? Because like all of you, everything you have said so far, you have relayed to me throughout the past 2 years that you've been going through this.
Like kind of offhand. Like, I'd be like, yeah, my fucking director, lol. Like,
and then us in the group chat would be like, hey, wait, what?
Yeah, I remember telling hey, my director told me to lose weight story, and everyone was like, what the fuck? Like, are you serious?
What the actual fuck? Kill him dead.
Yeah. And that was something I like told that story in a dressing room, in like the dressing room during one of the dress rehearsals. Just like offhandedly, like, yeah, that was just like something that happened. And the man in the cast who played the Beast looked me dead in the eye and went, "Was he joking?" I was like, "No." He like legitimately suggested that at first. He was like, I would have fucking punched him. I
would have beat the fuck out of him.
Yeah, so it's like, okay, I'm glad you agree. Like, I'm glad people agree that was insane. And like,
I'm glad the titular Beast agrees with me.
Yeah. Speaking of that man, the Beast, something I did not know about him until very recently was the fact that he is an engineer. And he also designed the entire set, basically. Very impressive for one man. He had help in building it. But like he like designed like the castle and shit, you know?
Christ alive, man.
So at a certain point, you know, I understand where he was coming from now, but at the time it was very annoying because at a certain point in the show, it seemed like he had forgotten all of his lines. This is one of the title characters of the show, and like I'm like feeding him lines during rehearsals, and I was like, "Bro, what is the fucking deal with this guy?" Little did I know later on that like he was worried about the set that wasn't done that he had designed and was trying to like get detail on like, okay, where is stuff gonna be? Like, you guys need to tell me this stuff. So a big thing about this director is that one of his biggest flaws is that he did not communicate anything to anybody. Which was something I found out like wasn't just a me problem. He just like didn't fucking like tell people about any of his decisions.
Was this like the first time this person was directing a stage play? I don't understand.
It was so that's actually very important. This man was like very new to directing. I believe he had done like a smaller show beforehand. And then in an interview we did with like a local radio station just to promote the show, he mentioned the backstory in which how he got involved with the show, which was, yeah, I was talking to some kids on a field trip I was chaperoning, and I was like, hey, I'm going to direct a show. What do you guys want to see? And one kid was like, I want to see Beauty and the Beast. And he was like, okay. Which is not...
Dumbest fucking man alive.
Not a good way to
Christ,
not a good way to
dude.
decide on something is when like one of your friend's kids is just like, I want to see this show, and you go, okay.
I was supposed to be shit.
Yeah, what's your first show?
Yeah, right.
Dude, we miss Fridays.
It's coming back, all right?
You heard it here first, folks, on the Liars Club bonus podcast. Greatest attorney coming back someday.
Someday after, no, I talked to Robbie about it. Robbie has to set up a new recording space, and then once Robbie, everybody's good to go except for Robbie, but keep going.
Gotcha. All right. So this man didn't tell anyone anything, basically. So, you know, one of our leads was not learning his lines for the longest time because of this man. And then like other shit happened. Which, you know, we had rehearsed the show like the same way for a very long time. So, you know, understandably, after 2 years, a lot of us have new ideas and like, hey, I would like to do this. Is that okay? Sure. Unfortunately for all of us, he also had new ideas. And by had new ideas, I mean during rehearsals that would be very, very close to showtime. Like we would be like on stage, like getting like you know, like a week or two out from performing, and he would be like, hey, I have a joke I want to add. It's like and he did a lot of shit. He added lines that like took away from like it some of his lines like added shit that felt like he was just like trying to spell things out to the audience as if they wouldn't understand the plot of this Disney show. Like just a lot, like removing any sort of like subtlety to certain lines, or just like changing the context of things to like make it a joke that only he would laugh at. One such joke, which makes me mad in particular because one, it involved a friend of mine in the cast, and two, it was stupid, and nobody liked it. Was in I don't fucking. I'm not gonna like mansplain this fucking Disney movie too much, but in the scene where it's like everyone in like the tavern and, you know, they sing the song Gaston about the guy Gaston. It's the one that like people made memes out of, where it's like every time he talks about eggs, like they, you know, it was one of those where it's like every time this happens, then like it gets louder or something like that. It's that song. At the end of that song, it's, you know, it's a bunch of like bar goers, and everyone like, you know, the song ends and they all like get into a pose and go like, hey, like how a musical number goes. The joke, the line that follows is already a joke where, so there's Gaston, the villain, and he has a little crony, named LeFou, who's just like a silly little man who follows him around and is like, all right, boss, like basically. The line after, immediately following that song, is the Gaston going, drinks on LeFou, saying, okay, everyone's been drinking all night and this guy's gonna pay for it. Like, that's the joke. And the Jason, our director, went, hey, I have an idea. What if immediately, what if after he says that, so what if when you say drinks on LeFou, what if you point at LeFou and then everyone in this big crowd pretends to like dump their drink on him? So instead of meaning drinks on LeFou as in like the term drinks on me or something like that, it is now like a command, as in, okay, pour your drink on this guy, which does not come across as like some kind of clever wordplay, and in my opinion, it gives off the idea that this director does not know what drinks on me means and made something up.
It's very much seems like this director initially went in being like, I've never seen Beauty and the Beast, I guess I'll just direct it as is, and then went home very close to when you were supposed to perform this entire stage play, saw the movie, either the musical version that Disney put out recently or the old animated one, and went, right, no, I could do this better.
I think he just I think he just thought of an idea and thought it would be funny and didn't think about it for more than like 2 seconds. And the thing is, like nobody objected to it initially. He like suggested it and the cast went, okay, because that's the thing that you do when the director wants to try something, is you try it and see how it works. And I think he took nobody objecting to it as, okay, everyone likes this.
What? You have to try it first.
Well, they tried it, and but everyone did it because they were trying it, because that's what a cast does when the director suggests something. And he took that as, okay, everyone loves it. We're gonna do this the entire show now.
Oh my god.
And people complained hey, this isn't funny and it doesn't make sense, and he was really defensive about it for no reason. This is the most unprofessional director I've ever worked with in my life. He had all these weird decisions like that. Just in short, because I would like to not make this whole podcast me complaining about this show. There were things like hiding the logo of the show on props and shit.
What?
So the logo of the show, it's on the scripts. It's a silhouette of the Beast and the magic rose that is one of the set, kind of the MacGuffin of the show, I guess. And he took that logo verbatim and just put it, or had it put onto shit. Like one of the taps in the bar scene has that logo on it, and another kind of central prop is a magic mirror, and on the back it's a handheld mirror, and on the back of it is this logo, which made it look like merchandise. It looked like a toy.
Dude,
and no one said, and I said things about this stuff, and but this director just was very steadfast and just going no, I want it this way. So he had stuff like that. Another thing he did, which is maybe the tackiest thing I've ever fucking seen ever in any theater production. Maybe one of the tackiest things you can do in general with a community theater production, is there is a prop / costume bit. There is the character Chip, who's a little boy who is a teacup.
Right.
He gets pushed around on a little tea cart. So it's essentially this child who plays Chip sitting on a little chair in a box with wheels on it. A big, heavy, fuck off big wooden box for no reason.
A big go fuck yourself wooden box.
Yeah, keep in mind, the woman who is pushing this cart around most of the time is Mrs. Potts, who is a teapot, which means most of the time with how they directed the woman playing her, she's doing the I'm a little teapot pose, where she
yeah.
has one arm out. So this poor fucking woman is, for the most part, trying to push this big go fuck yourself big wooden box with a kid in it with one hand, which sucks.
That fucking blows, dude.
Yeah. But on like the front and back like faces of this box, like the one that like faces out to the audience, in big capital letters, was the like initials of like an abbreviation of like the theater company. So the thing, I'm not gonna like say the name of the town,
right, yeah.
But you know, it was like the thing is like the name of the like theater group was like insert name of town community theater. So, you know, labeling to like blank CT. Mm-hmm. So in big capital letters on this already huge fucking stupid big prop is just the name of the company that's putting on the show that you're watching already, which is unnecessary and like looks stupid as fuck. Why are you advertising yourself in this show that we already paid tickets for? Like, what are you doing? This looks tacky and it takes everyone out of the experience and it looks stupid. And like I just for clarity, it wasn't like written on there. It was like the idea is that the cart had sort of like a wood carved design on it, so it was meant to look like subtle, like, oh, it's like this like wavy kind of up and down kind of like wooden design, but it was just very clearly big capital letters that spelled out the name of the company, which is so stupid. I think, I like, not to like get into like theater takes, but I think when you want, like, if even you consider referencing the group that is putting on the show during the show, you have to walk a very fine line where it's like, does this work in the context of the show? There are shows that I've seen that are already very like self-referential and like break the fourth wall. So, you know, sometimes it's okay to like sort of sneak something in there. It like and like make it work within the confines of the story you're trying to tell. They did not do that. They instead just put their name in big letters on this fucking big stupid go fuck yourself big car. Like, and it sucked and it looked stupid and everyone complained about it. Like, but then like they already built it, so they can't do anything about it. Like, it was dude, stupid.
This was their. Did you say this was like their first show they've ever done? Like what?
This was the way he worded it was that this was his first big show that he's done. So I assume he had done smaller productions. I know over the course of like the 2-year hiatus during like the front end of the pandemic, he like wrote a small like dinner theater show and directed that. You know,
how'd that go? I wonder.
I don't know. I didn't see it.
I wouldn't either, based on that fucking directorial decisions based on Beauty and the Beast, an already really well established fucking production.
Not only like just like, you know, Beauty and the Beast is a story that's existed for a million billion years, right?
Fucking
like
tale as old as time. It's in the goddamn script.
Yeah. Not only that, also maybe one of the most like that like animated movie is like the first animated movie to like get a Best Picture nomination. Like the Academy invented a category. The Academy invented the Best Animated Feature category specifically because this movie was like, people liked this movie so much that it got nominated for Best Picture, and the Academy was like, well, we can't let cartoons win it. So they made something up specifically to account for this movie. Like the Disney Beauty and the Beast is a very, like, well-established, well-known, like, you know, people know that shit. You can't mess with it super hard, or else people get upset.
It's a pivotal piece of media that, like, it established a lot of things for animated movies and stuff going forward, the animated version, and the production, the stage play, and the actual tale of Beauty and the Beast formulated a lot of fantasy and romance.
Yeah.
Don't fuck with it.
You're not supposed to fuck with it that much, you know? And, like, even that, I think the worst part about all of this, aside from the fact that, at a certain point for the first time in my entire life, like, performing in something, I hit a point where I was like, this isn't fun anymore.
Oh, no.
Which was, right? It was like, to, like, just, you know, I think one of the worst parts about that whole thing was that, like, for everything that went, like, what was, like, a fucking nightmare to go through, like, the actual performances themselves, they went fine. They went pretty freaking good. And for all intents and purposes, it was, like, fairly impressive for a community theater show. So I think the worst part about that is that because this show turned out okay, this fucking guy is gonna, like, get such a big head about it and, like, keep doing shows like this and, like, treating people super fucking weird in his productions. Like he's just gonna keep doing this. And it sucks. Okay.
I was in a very similar situation when I was in school, when I was doing theater and stuff, because breaking news, I was also a little theater kid for a while.
Fuck you!
Fuck you! Die! I was in the musical version of Alice in Wonderland.
Okay. I
was casted as Tweedledum.
Awesome.
because it was me and I could say his name, fucking whatever, Maverick, who was Tweedledee. We were the same height. We at the time had the same kind of singing voice and whatnot, so we recast it as twins. Mm-hmm. The director, which was the drama teacher for the school at the time, who was no longer the drama teacher at that school because she had a fucking psychotic breakdown.
Oh, I have a story similar to that about this show that I could tell after this. It's great.
She would nitpick and just, like, change so many things about Alice in Wonderland, and just, like, what if the caterpillar had this accent when they were talking, or did this and this and that, or, like, trying to get an actual, like, hookah for whoever was playing the caterpillar and shit like that.
Question.
Yeah.
What grade were you in? what type of school was this?
This was an elementary school. This was 6th grade. This was before we were going from elementary school to middle school and whatnot.
All right, I'm gonna buy a fucking hookah. I'm gonna go buy a bong for this child real quick.
Like, doing stuff like the Mad Hatter should be, like, old, walk with a limp, and shit like that. And I'm like, this is weird. And then that same drama teacher, when I went to high school, because for middle school I was like, I'm not gonna do drama or theater again because too many kids made fun of me for being Tweedledum and shit like that. And then when I got to high school, I'm like, I'll try it again. So freshman year of high school, new drama teacher, no worries. We're doing Sweeney Todd. I get casted as Sweeney Todd. Cool.
Oh, awesome.
Drama teacher's like I think it's like a month into us like doing rehearsal and whatnot, and the drama teacher's like, hey, the school just hired a secondary drama teacher to come help us. It is the same drama teacher from my elementary school. And that's when I said, fuck this, find a different Sweeney Todd, and I transferred out of like theater class into art.
Oh my
I was
God.
like, fuck this. I am not doing this. I cannot have another, like, I am older now. I will verbally fight this woman.
Right.
I am older now. My voice sounds deeper. I am way more grown because in elementary school I was 5 foot even until I hit freshman year of high school, and I jumped up to fucking 5'9". Mm-hmm. I am not dealing with this woman's bullshit.
Yes.
Sweeney Todd did not happen. There was no drama productions in my high school for about 2.5 years.
Oh my God.
It got that fucking bad.
Jesus Christ.
And I haven't done theater stuff since.
Because you dipped, or because this drama lady who came back was like such a nightmare that no one wanted to do stuff.
I had 2 understudies, so I did not I wasn't worried about dipping.
So you leaving did not affect it.
Did not affect anything. It was just this woman was so rancid that like nothing was getting done, and people were dropping left and right. Because like, from my understanding, I left a month later. My first understudy left, and then the understudy of that understudy took over. Mm-hmm. And it was just a hell. Like, it was a hell show.
Yeesh.
Like, everybody that was casted as their characters got rearranged and stuff like that. It was bad.
What? What do you mean? That's deranged.
There was an instance of one of the freshman football players was like trying to make varsity next year and was working really hard to like be in football because that's what they wanted to do with their life, is to have a football career. And like the initial drama teacher, very respectful of that. This horrid woman would go to the football practices and pull him out and make him like recite lines and do shit, because she was like, hey,
oh my God,
you've been slacking in class. You're not going to ruin my production, as if like she's the head teacher.
That's fucked up.
Extremely fucked up. And at the time, the dean didn't do anything.
Like, kind of like invasive and disrespectful also. Like,
oh, dude, the football coach, like I remember seeing one time at lunch the football coach running into the dean's office, and we could hear him screaming at the dean like, what the fuck is going on? Why is she taking my players out?
Oh my God.
She has no authority on my field. That is my field.
Jesus Christ.
I'm like, damn, this is awesome. I love this. I love that I bailed.
Oh, I love this company.
I love this company. I got 3 words for you. Floppy fucking face. Oh, man.
Oh,
but
no.
I think, the only productions I've ever done before I got fucking accosted and hated theater after that were Alice in Wonderland, and I did a little bit of Sweeney Todd, and then I was going to do some community theater, but I was like so fucking disgruntled by those experiences.
Scared that this woman would follow you.
Not that this woman would follow me, just like I
know,
don't want to fucking
just like imagine
deal with this. Oh, she showed up at the community theater. I think I would have gone to jail for fucking like burning down a theater.
God. It's awesome.
Dude, fucking I props to you for sticking through all that. You were a much you persevered, and you were a much stronger person than I am.
Well, yeah, because I was fucking $300 on the fucking hole. I'm not gonna not do it now. Like,
they gotta reimburse you for that. That's fine.
I might make them.
I would tell them, be like, hey, this production was kind of unprofessional, and I took offense to it. At most, can you please just reimburse me for the costume so I never have to deal with this shit again?
Like, oh man.
Dude.
Similar to the story you just told, there's another member of this production team that I have neglected to mention up until now.
Oh boy, this is the first I'm hearing of this.
For those who follow me on Twitter, you might have heard a very abridged version of this story. So the production team was Jason, the director, his wife, who was an assistant director, who, by the way, she would try to get words in and then get shushed by her husband. That's another thing I forgot to mention, is that she got treated like shit during this, and it was bad.
I'm thinking of day one introductions where the director was like, hello, my name's Jason. And then the wife's about to say hello, and he's like, and this is my bitch wife.
He wasn't out. He wasn't verbally, outwardly, I fuck you, wife, or anything. Mm-hmm. But he would shush her and stuff, and he completely neglected to mention her at all when we did the interview I mentioned. Just did not at one point bring up his wife, and then the moment the mics went off, he went, "Oh no!" I forgot to talk about my wife. Oh no. Like, dude, I don't know what to tell you, man. So it was
Jason's
him.
divorced now.
So it was him, his wife, another assistant director, a man by the name of Chris, who was fucking awesome. And I found out recently that he's like a wrestler. And also like wants to direct some other shows that I'm like very interested in doing. Like apparently there's like apparently this whole time there's been an Evil Dead musical and he like wants to direct it, and I'm like, dude, I want to be in the fucking Evil Dead musical.
I want to be in the Evil Dead musical. Hold on. Wait. Let me in. What the fuck?
That's a thing that's existed since like fucking 2003 apparently, and I didn't know about it until this guy mentioned it. Like, yeah, that's a show I want to direct sometime, and I was like, are you like, hey yo? So there was that guy. He was really awesome, and then there was another woman. I don't have. I don't have a substitute name for her. So like Jason, I'm just gonna say her name because no one in our fan base knows who this woman is and won't say anything about it. Right, guys? Anyway, this woman, her name was Erin.
Okay.
She, for one thing, like the director and his wife had like kids in this show that she was like really weird about and like also kind of terrible too. But her kids were fucking awful anyway, so like whatever. I didn't like, but like treat your kids well. You know what I mean?
Right. Okay. Yeah. Treat your kids fine, I guess. Whatever.
Yeah.
Be a good parent, I guess.
Yeah. You know, whatever.
Whatever. Fuck it.
So this woman, she was, emphasis on was, our stage manager. So her job was to help, like block certain scenes, and, you know, keep track of like props and stuff. At worst, for the most part, she was like annoying. Like she would fill in for the directors when they weren't there because we would have rehearsals where the directors wouldn't show up.
Oh, gee whiz.
And you know, like it was hard to work with music stuff because she like couldn't sing or anything. Like at worst, for the longest time, she was annoying and had annoying kids. Once we got to tech rehearsals, some kind of switch flipped in this woman's head. Probably the same switch that would make her like yell at a service worker. So for context, this community theater performed out of the theater in the local high school. First off, really weirdly nice theater for like a high school in like this weird like podunk town in the middle of nowhere, in the middle of fucking nowhere, Michigan. Like just like a really cool, like really fancy, like very impressive theater. But also because it was run out of the high school, some students from the high school worked tech. For some reason, this woman was so fucking abysmal to these tech kids. Just fucking rancid. And to my knowledge, it was because they like didn't need her help. The show went really good because of these kids. Like a lot of transitions and stuff went really quick and, you know, painless because of these kids, like, just doing their job. So they didn't need a lot of help. And I have to assume there was some other layer to it. But for the most part, I have to assume because she didn't have anything to do because these kids were doing the job like they're supposed to, she just started treating them like shit. At one point, feel free to like censor it if it's like not a word we want to say on the podcast. I'm like fairly certain I heard her like call one of those kids like a Nazi behind their back. Like keep in mind,
I'm not censoring that for one because that's fucking funny as shit to think of a teacher calling another kid that.
So important distinction, like 40-something-year-old woman, like like grown adult calling a high schooler a Nazi. Insane. But also she was just like she made some of them cry. She was so mean to them, like just super fucked up. One night during the dress rehearsals, the night before, I said, "Hey, I have a prop that I need to pass off for during the big song that I'm in. Do you think we could put something back there for me to drop it off at?" And this woman, who was the stage manager at the time, said, "Hey, I'll be backstage. Just hand it to me." So the next day, we're doing dress rehearsals. I go to pass this thing off, and she's gone. I had no idea she would not be there.
Oh my God.
So in a panic, I had to rush to where my next cue was, and ate shit going up some stairs and broke one of my candle hands.
Oh no.
And I had to like repair it that night. Like I had to stay up and repair it that night.
No.
So after that happened, I came out. After like that happened, this person was gone when I needed them, and I broke my shit because of it. I come out to talk to the directors and stuff because I'm a little upset.
I would be too.
I'm like, "Hey, I was told this person would be there. I was told Erin would be there, and she wasn't, and my thing broke because of it." And Erin goes, "Hey, you can't get mad at me for that." And I'm like, "Okay, okay." And she like didn't elaborate on that. And I was like, "All right, you know what? I don't need it for the rest of the show. You know, after that, I have my Act 2 hands. So, I'll just put that aside and repair it when I get home. I'm mad that it happened, but it's an easy fix, right? After the show ends, I am talking with one of the tech kids. By the way, the tech kids, I want you to imagine like a group of like goth kids, like high school goth kids. Like they were the most normal people on the entire production team. Like they were super cool and just really nice, and they did their job, and like that was like all I needed. And I was like, "You guys fucking rock." I again with my desperately trying to be nice to work with attitude, I was like, "You guys are fucking awesome. Like, thank you for all the work you're doing." And they were like, "Fuck yeah, dude, let's go." And I was like, "All right." So I'm talking to one of these kids, one of the high school kids who was like a co-stage manager basically. I'm talking to this kid about it. And I'm like, "Yeah, so fucking Erin said she was going to be there and she was gone." And then Erin just walked up as I was saying that, which like, so this tech kid walks away, and I'm like, "All right, I'm going to put on the fucking face. I'm like, "Hey, I'm sorry I was talking about you without, I'm just a little frustrated that this happened, and yada yada yada." I'm like, "Okay, I gotta make up for this." And then Erin, this grown adult woman, she's standing in front of me. We're like kind of like off in like the prop hallway, so there's no one really around, and she goes, "Look, I just wanted to say that I'm sorry for not being there. And I'm like, oh no, no, oh no, oh no way, oh no way.
Yes, dude, yes, oh my god, this is exactly how I wanted this to turn out.
So this grown adult woman, I would like, I'm going to keep saying it because I need to emphasize that this is a fully grown, fully aware, fully developed human being, right?
In her 40s, this grown ass fucking woman
is crying at me. And I'm like, all right, what? And so she's like, I'm sorry, I couldn't be there because, and she just very kind of casually just kind of drops the bomb of, I wasn't back there because I got fired.
Oh, fuck yes! Yes, dude! Yes!
and much like a child would, like trying to tell on another kid for like pushing them on the playground. She points to the tech kid.
No.
This like at like 17-year-old that is like walking out the door and goes, and I got fired because of her. It was her. She fired me, and I wasn't there because of it. And I'm like, oh my god, this grown adult woman is beefing with high schoolers and losing, and she's crying to me about it.
She's fucking losing, dude.
Which like,
oh my god,
like. So, I will say, in my head, I'm like, okay, I'm not gonna, be mean to this, like, crying woman in front of me,
Of course, you're like, a decent human being.
This is someone is in distress in front of me. I'm not gonna be like, simply be nice to the high schoolers and this wouldn't happen, plus L plus ratio. Like, I'm not gonna like do that. However,
but yeah, I was waiting.
It took every fiber of my body to not openly laugh at this person for crying to me because a group of high schoolers were like, hey, we don't want to work with you because you're being terrible to us. Dude. And I went through the whole conversation. I was like, all right, you know what? Thank you for giving me the full story. I'm sorry I, complained about you without knowing. What happened. It's an easy fix. We can move on from this. And, I'm sorry that happened. See ya.
Bye. Leave the theater. You don't work here anymore.
And that's the thing, is that she, like, another thing, she not only was she fired, she was banned from coming backstage. Which was like, lo and behold, after that point, she did not fully adhere to. Because on one hand, she was meant to be in charge of checking on props. And all of the props were stored in like a hallway behind, like that's like kind of behind the stage. So she would she would walk through and make sure everything was where it was needed to be. Like, okay, you could do that, I guess, but you're not supposed to interfere with anything otherwise, right? she just like kept coming backstage.
Oh no.
And being mean to the kids. Like, she just kept doing it. And to the point where the like woman who like oversaw the theater itself, like the like not like the theater program, like the theater, like the room, the big auditorium room in which we performed, like the physical theater, was like told the director, like, if you keep letting her go back there, like, we're going to like shut off the lights and stop the show until she leaves. Like, you need to make sure she's not back there. She is banned. So, like, so, yeah, like, that, like, dude, I cannot tell you, I don't, like, I feel bad even just, like, complaining about it because, like, you know, that, you know, there's a fucking person in distress. I don't want to, like, make fun of the fact that, you know, this person, like, you know, came to me in confidence, I guess, and was like, you know, emotionally compromised. However, this is a grown adult woman who called like presumably one of these like 16, 17-year-olds a Nazi. And an assortment for simply wanting to do their job themselves. And because of that, got removed from her position, and she had such a hard time dealing with that, dealing with the consequences of her actions, that she went up to some random dude who, like, she does not know outside of the setting, and like openly like sobbed about it. Like,
like, you are too kind.
I like, from that point I was like, oh my god, like I feel like I'm in the fucking Twilight Zone. Like, none of this feels real anymore. Like, it's just, and like, that's not even like the end of stuff that happened like that night. Like, I was like grumpy for the rest of the rehearsal because like my shit broke and I was upset about it. And like Jason, the director, I think it was him. I still don't know who did this. Someone came up to me while I was like visibly upset about the goings on that night. And like, probably jokingly, as a way to get me to cheer up, like, called me sexy, and I was like, what the fuck? Huh? Hello? What do you mean? What is happening? What is going on? I'm gonna go crazy. Like, so much shit happened, like, in just like the week of the show alone, that like I almost fucking became the Joker. I was like, I'm gonna snap and like attack this man with a brick. What is happening to me right now?
Dude, that is so. You are. I've said this before. You are probably like one of the nicest people I've met, and I have the pleasure of calling my friend. You know exactly how I would react in every single one of those situations, and it is the polar opposite of what you did.
Yeah. It's like, oh man, like, and here, like, I've been saying this to people when they ask like, how was your show? Like, normally when I do like shows like this, especially like bigger ones, and when they're like musicals and stuff, and you know, I have all this time to get to know like a new group of people, you know, I like made friends like in this cast, and like I still talk to them and they're like great people. You know, usually by now, like a couple days, like maybe a week after performing, I would be like bummed that it was over. I'm like over it. I didn't have a period of that sucks that it's over. I'm like, all right, I'm glad I'm done with this. I'm glad I don't have to deal with these people anymore. I didn't say like after the last show, the thing to do most of the time is like help like tear down the set and like, you know, clean up after yourself, which I did. But like after that, like I like didn't see most of these people like
ever again.
Yeah, the director. The thing about the director, I mentioned it, but I didn't elaborate. That guy like liked me a lot, to the point where apparently, like, if I hadn't come back after the 2 years, he would have like canceled the show because he was like so set on like my performance. And like
we need Nolan to be Lumiere, or I'm gonna fucking lose it.
Like, or like any time he would like say something weird and fucked up about like my costume or anything, like he would like register, oh shit, he probably didn't like that, and then like in front of everyone be like, by the way, Nolan, you're awesome and you're great and you're good at what you like, hey guys, look how nice I am to him. Like really fucking I feel like I was a selling point of this show with the way he talked about it. It was like, come see fucking like Broadway quality talent in this show. I'm like, am I being like, are you using me for advertisement right now? Is that what you're doing, Jason?
You were being pandered to, and you were being used.
Yeah, like yeah. And so this guy was like very, very invested in like me and like my fucking like you know, he just liked me a lot and was very adamant on making sure that I knew and that people heard him tell me that. And then like we're cleaning up, like the last show ends and he gives me like he like comes by and goes like, hey, great show. And I'm like, okay, like once we're tearing down the set, he's gonna give me a whole fucking thing about like, you were so good and I hope you come back for more shows. And then like that'll be my moment to be like, no, go fuck yourself. This was the worst theater experience I've ever had. I hate you. Like, but then I like cleaned up and went home and like didn't say anything to him. For all I understand, I just like disappeared from this man's life. And I think that's funnier than anything I could have done. Just like, all right, I'm gone and I'm never going to talk to you ever again. Like, see ya.
You had Broadway level talent and look what happened.
But like that's the issue, right? Is that like, you know, this guy got like a ton of like he heard like a bunch of people told this guy all sorts of good stuff about the show because we as a cast did, like, for all intents and purposes, did a pretty fucking bang up job. However, you know, like not much of that credit can really go to him because, you know, if he liked people, you know, if people did a good enough job, he would just not direct them and just let them do whatever because, like, they're so good, they'll just do it. And like, you know, so much shit like of that like cannot be attributed to his direction and his input. Like so much shit about like the sets and like our performances and like our costumes. Like people were like, wow, these are like crazy good. And like, and I was, and you know, whenever people mentioned it, I would be like, yeah, thanks. I like made it myself. Like,
I made it myself. Thank you.
Yeah, thank you. And just like, you know, I think the worst part about all of it is that like he probably thinks he's like he's fucking king of the world right now. You know what I mean? But like, I don't know if I'm gonna like say anything like publicly. Like I was very much considering like leaving like a shitty Facebook review or something. I'm just like, hey, these people suck. Like, these people suck to work with. But like, I in my head, I think like just kind of disappearing and never coming back is like maybe one of the funniest things I could possibly do about it.
What happens if they contact you again and be like, hey, Nolan, we have another show we're doing and we would love you for this role. Could you please come down and do this?
At that point, if they ever like contact me again and say anything, like that'll be my point where I go, no, like you guys treated me super fucking weird. It treated me and a bunch of people super fucking weird on that set. And like, you know, all this shit happened that just went completely unaccounted for. And like, I'm never fucking working with you people again. like, are you fucking kidding
Nolan,
me?
you are so sexy. We need you on the set right now. You're so
Why did he
sexy.
say that? Why did he say that? And that's the one that if he had the last laugh about anything, it's the fact that he said that to me, and I'll never know why. Why? Like, I could only assume it was just like, I'm gonna say something funny, so he'll laugh. Because, like, haha, smile, dude, or whatever. Like,
you would look better if you smiled. Oh God!
But like, bro, like, you are a grown, married adult with children on this set with me right now. Like, are your children, and you're saying this to me? Like, what are you doing, bro?
Those kids go home in the car. They're like, Dad, why did you call that one guy sexy?
He's like, let's not talk about it. Let's not talk about that sport. Like,
and then his wife is like, yeah, why did you do that?
and then he goes, shh.
Shut up.
As emotionally over the fact that I did that show and like it's done now as I am, it still baffles me that like how deranged the production side of it was. Like, I can't believe the shit that happened on in this show. It's insane.
I am very happy you're done with it. I'm glad that everything was. You came out of it safe but frustrated. But I'm glad to have my friend back. I guess at the end of the day.
Yeah.
Because it literally was a 2-year period of like, I don't really talk to Nifty much because it's like Nifty's busy with the production and shit.
The 2 years when the show wasn't happening, like I was like not in contact with these people. Like I was just doing okay. The reason I started like streaming, like showing up on streams with you guys was because I had free time and I didn't have to go to rehearsals. So I was like, this will be fun. And then I met you guys and I was like, these people are fucking awesome. And now I hang out with you guys because I couldn't do this show for 2 years. And then I finally get to do it again. And it's the fucking worst shit I've ever done.
Stay on the computer, white boy. Stop dancing on stage. Stay on your fucking little computer book.
God, it's glad
to have you back.
Yeah, I'm glad to be back.
Dude, oh man, I want to keep talking to you doing stuff, but at this point, this bonus episode that I was like, yeah, no, I'll be like half an hour is almost a 2-hour thing.
Yeah, we're fucking.
This is probably what the bonus episodes will be if it's just me and you. Is just like fucking bantering back and forth and doing whatever.
Rambling for a billion years.
Rambling, bambling, doing whatever the fuck. I hopefully those listening on Patreon or whatever platform, I might release this like on YouTube simultaneously and be like, hey, this is a Patreon exclusive show that we're doing.
Let us know what you think about this, because if I talked for 2 hours about my personal like theater experience and no one fucking gives a shit, then I would like to know and apologize.
Yeah, like, because in my brain, I'm like, the bonus episode is just for us to do anything. Robbie said that they had interest for popping in. Chase will obviously pop in from time to time because Chase wants to be involved with everything we do. Doesn't want us to have individuality. Please help.
Help.
Help. But yeah, no. Dude, fucking, it's so insane. I cannot fucking comprehend that.
Like, at the end of the day, right? Like, I have, like, a couple, like, really cool friends that I met, and, like, I got a bunch of praise from strangers about how good I did, and, like, you know, I think, like, I don't know, you know, I have things to look back on. I have cool friends to, like, hang out with now. And, you know, I have a bunch of fucking wild stories to tell now, like what I talked about on this.
Yeah, you're a crazy person just like me now.
Yeah. We're not so different, you and I.
We're not so different, you and I.
And, you know, overall, I'm satisfied with what happened. However, I am also fucking $300 out. And it's like, I have to deal with that. So, like, fucking, I don't know. Hey, Jason, if you're listening, fucking pay up, asshole. Like,
pay up, motherfucker. I'll come to your house and tell your wife that you're cheating on her with the fucking cast members of age.
Just making shit up.
I'm gonna come to your house and be like, yeah, no, I was in the Beauty and the Beast production crew, and like after the shows we would kiss in his car. Just like absolute like fucking lies to ruin this person's life.
It's the Liars Club.
Dude, I think that'll do it for the first bonus episode. This fucking
fuck
thing.
it, why not?
This thing that I was like, yeah, no, it'll be like a little bonus half hour we add on like once a week, or like we'll figure out a schedule, because sometimes I might not be available, sometimes Nifty might not be available, so you might just get like a Chase and Robbie thing, or just like me and Robbie, or Chase and Nifty. You never know.
We'll figure out some, like, the stuff, the shit that doesn't matter, like a schedule and a title and all this shit.
Things that don't matter, like branding or whatever.
We'll figure that out as we go.
I'll pose it here too before I fucking ask Chase and Robbie. Maybe bring on guests we've had before. Just put them on like bonus episodes if they feel like hanging out and shooting the shit. Just like whatever. Because I think it'd be funny to just like bring Dev back and have the three of us like talk about fucking the horrible nightmare scenarios we had fucking voicing on Danganronpa and fucking Great Ace Attorney.
Oh my god.
Just like how fucking horrid it would be.
Yeah.
Oh man. I don't know.
Oh man.
Thanks for listening to this whole thing. If you made it all the way to the end,
if you're here and you listen from the beginning, holy shit, you're insane. But
you're
thank
insane.
you.
Thank you for donating to the Patreon, because we're doing this for you. So thank you very much. Again, might put this on just the first episode of this on YouTube and be like, this is the Patreon exclusive show. One of the exclusive things that we are doing on Patreon. If you want to be able to listen to the show, head on over there. Or as we fucking allow a lot of our patrons to be like, if you think this is cool and you want to share it with your friends, we made it available for people to share it with, so only one person really has to pay in the Patreon, and then they can be like, check this out. So like, don't worry about it. Do what you want to do. Thank you for listening. I don't know how to fucking end this. We've been talking for so long, dude.
We'll figure it out, and we like still have shit to record after this. Like,
we'll figure that out. Oh my god. Fuck this. I'm ending the recording. Goodbye, everybody. Good night. Fuck this.
Episode over. Go home.